Obi Wan Kenobi fell in love with Satine while he was still a Padawan during the Mandalorian Civil War. Over time, they developed deep feelings for each other. After the war ended, Satine resumed her role as Duchess, while Obi-Wan continued his Jedi training. However, later, Obi-Wan revealed to the Council that he wanted to leave the Order. If Obi-Wan had left the Order, Qui-Gon, affected by his failure with his first apprentice, would not have taken another and would have focused entirely on following the will of the Force. In this scenario, Obi-Wan would have gone to Mandalore with Satine, and they would have been happy together. Satine would continue as Duchess of Mandalore, and Obi-Wan would serve as her personal protector. Together, they would have a son who is powerful in the Force from birth. While Qui-Gon would still be the Jedi sent to negotiate with the Trade Federation, much of the events of the Phantom Menace would unfold similarly. Qui-Gon would take Anakin before the Jedi Council, who would still reject his training. However, Darth Maul would kill Qui-Gon on Naboo, and without him to take revenge, Qui-Gon's promise to train Anakin would go unfulfilled. As a result, the Council would decide not to train Anakin and would send him back to Tatooine with his mother. Darth Maul's survival would have significant consequences. Under Darth Sidious's tutelage, Maul would grow exponentially in the dark side. Anakin, in his pain and frustration, would develop a deep resentment toward the Jedi. Qui-Gon's lie, promising to train him, would mark him. In his mind, the Jedi didn't care about him and had sent him back to Tatooine, leaving him with his enslaved mother. For a time, Anakin would be a freed slave, participating in pod races to win money and free his mother. His only dream would be to liberate her, improve their lives, and live together. However, Palpatine seeks Anakin because during his time on Coruscant, he had seen the potential in him. Palpatine begins manipulating him, offering false hopes of a future where not only he and his mother would be free, but they would prosper. Anakin begins to dream of this future while connecting more with Palpatine. But everything changes when Anakin returns home and discovers his mother dead, with a wound in her chest. Devastated, Anakin calls the authorities and Palpatine. The authorities conclude that the wound was made by a lightsaber, and several witnesses claim to have seen a hooded figure wielding a blue lightsaber. In Anakin's mind, he is convinced the Jedi are responsible. However, the truth is that Palpatine orchestrated the entire thing to make it appear as though a Jedi had killed Shmi. In his deepest pain, Anakin receives support from Palpatine, who promises to take him back to Coruscant and train him in the ways of the Force, telling him that he needs power. Seeing Anakin's rage and desire for vengeance, he promises that together they can exact revenge on those who took everything from him, the Jedi. Blinded by his pain, Anakin accepts the offer and becomes Palpatine's new apprentice. Together, they embark on a dark path, with Palpatine teaching Anakin about the dark side, his own history, and his goal to destroy the Jedi and establish a galactic empire. The ideals of both align, and soon, Anakin surpasses all of Palpatine's previous apprentices, like Dooku and Maul, who are still unaware of Anakin's power. Years pass, and Anakin continues his secret training on Coruscant, while the Clone Wars erupt, with Dooku leading the Separatists and Maul acting as the main assassin. Though Dooku and Maul are more powerful than Anakin at this time, he soon surpasses them. However, something still holds Anakin back: his feelings for Padme Amidala. Palpatine believes that Anakin is still too attached to her, and to strengthen his bond with the dark side, he decides she must be eliminated. He believes that Padme's death will be the catalyst that pushes Anakin to fully embrace the dark side. Maul is sent to kill Padme, and he succeeds. He strikes down the senator of Naboo, and Palpatine informs Anakin of her death, but not who caused it. Anakin is furious, and this drives him to a whole new level of darkness. His secret feelings for Padme and the hopes that they would be together are shattered in an instant. However, something unexpected happens. Anakin begins to have visions through the Force. In these visions, he clearly sees Palpatine in the shadows of Tatooine, killing his mother with a lightsaber, wearing Jedi robes to deceive him. He also sees Maul, following Palpatine's direct orders to kill Padme. The visions reveal the full truth. Every loss in his life had been carefully orchestrated by Palpatine. His master had manipulated every aspect of his life using both Maul and others as pawns in his game of manipulation. Anakin's sanity begins to fracture. Palpatine's betrayal is the last straw he can bear. Everything he had believed was a lie. The Jedi rejected him, his mother was killed by the one who claimed to be his savior, and Padme was eliminated under the orders of the very man who promised to protect him. During a meeting with Dooku and Maul on Coruscant, Anakin can no longer contain his rage. In an uncontrollable fury, he unleashes all his power. The battle that follows is brutal and swift. Dooku, despite his experience, falls first, unable to defend against Anakin's sheer rage. Maul tries to flee, recognizing the danger, but Anakin catches up and destroys him mercilessly, avenging Padme's death. Palpatine, surprised for the first time in decades, attempts to calm his apprentice, but it's too late. Anakin, consumed by hatred and betrayal, attacks his master. The battle between the two Sith shakes the very core of Coruscant. Palpatine, though powerful, cannot match the unleashed fury of Anakin. In a final moment of clarity before his death, Palpatine sees what he has created. The most powerful Sith ever, but one he can never control. With Palpatine's death, Anakin does not proclaim an empire or seek to rule. His mind, fully corrupted by pain and betrayal, only seeks destruction. He becomes a force of pure chaos in the galaxy, destroying both Jedi and Separatists, unable to distinguish between friend and foe. The war no longer has meaning for him, only pain and his desire to make everyone feel it. The years that follow are filled with pure terror across the galaxy. Anakin, now simply known as the Destroyer, roams the space, leaving worlds in ruin in his wake. He does not seek political power or riches. His only goal is to cause the same pain he feels. Planetary systems tremble at his arrival, and even the surviving Jedi dare not confront him. The tragedy of Anakin Skywalker becomes a dark warning. The hero destined to bring balance to the Force became its greatest anomaly, a being of pure chaos and destruction, betrayed by all, and finally by himself. As the years pass, his power in the dark side grows exponentially, fueled by his unending pain. He no longer seeks immortality or dominion. He only exists to destroy. The galaxy enters an era of darkness not due to an organized empire, but because of the presence of a being whose pain is so deep that it has transformed the very nature of the Force. The few who survive to tell his story speak of a man who was once the chosen one, but became the very embodiment of chaos, an eternal reminder that the deepest betrayal can create the greatest evil.